Okay, we're live. I guess I have a certain instinct that built up out of habit towards the streams. This one isn't separated in my mind quite yet, but it'll get there. The early days of the new habits are always the toughest, especially if the new habit is similar or based on an old habit. Interesting thought. Put that in the other stream. Maybe make a note next time you watch this for the next day. Hey, I've been doing my notes here. I'm recording today. That's a good thing. I've got the mic recording rather than just my laptop mic. So maybe I can start doing a little bit of production practice by producing the stream, taking the information, like the data, and then compiling it. Yeah. Today I'm going to try something a little bit different. Today I'm going to try and make it more personal, as if I'm talking to someone else. Because this is for a target audience. So, why you should believe in God? That title is a little bit, I don't like it. It is too pushy, not suggestive enough, not subtle enough. Why I believe in God is a better title than that one, and I'm not even settled on that one. Though I'm going to go based off that. Why you should believe in God? Well, if you look into your habits, you know you have some deep set instincts. You have instincts towards different activities. There's things you like. There's things that you are often convinced to do that go against your gut feeling, go against your instinct. You find yourself in many situations where you simply know what the right thing is. Whether or not you choose that is a different question, but you know deep down what the right thing is. What is that? Well, you have instincts towards what you believe in. You know you're right, or at the very least, you might know that this idea you hold with such reverence and you have so much foundational material behind it that you need to explore it and open it up and get into that foundation and find out what parts of that foundation are worth keeping and where the weaknesses are. At the very least, that's the scientific method, essentially, we've got these ideas and we're exploring them. So why do we reject God? The same pressures of evolution are on us as are on the Bible. The successful book, ancient wisdoms, are the ones that lead to the most individual and group success. The stories that are read and held as valuable by the groups that have more success are the ones that lead them a little bit towards that success. The writings tested by time are great writings, and that's because they are great. People hold them with reverence. They have a value. We don't hear about, if you know anything about ancient Greece, people were writing constantly. How many ancient stories had no value but were popular in their time? It's hard to say really exactly, but they had plays, the theater, the gladiatorial arena. There was all kinds of theater going on, as there is today, and people hold, and that's where you see the competition between religions playing out. The pantheon of ideas, the pantheon of stories that contain some sort of message or value or wisdom, coming along, circling, colliding, melding a little bit, but the pieces are burned off that are not as valuable. The story gets changed and changed and changed. It's like back in the day, it used to be common to get severe amounts of inspiration to the point of almost being plagiarism from other plays. Shakespeare is notorious for this. Yes, his writing is definitely unique and it is his style, but some say that he copied the stories almost verbatim from other stories, which was the practice. It's a transformative art. The story itself changes, and then you get the version of the story that is most competitive, and that version continues on until somebody changes it for the better or uses it for inspiration. Look at how much of the Shakespeare stories, I don't like using Shakespeare as an example. Look at how many of the ancient stories how many of the more recent stories are influenced or directly thematically based off of older stories, just with a different context around them. You know that there is ancient value there. Why toss it out the window just because we don't believe in a corporeal God as a group anymore? You can still see the ancient wisdom in biblical stories. As the ancient versions of the wisdom and the tribes competed, you this isn't personal enough. I've gone back into my rationalist arguments. You see these tribes competing, and the tribes telling their stories. These stories are based on wisdom they know, instinct. You instinctually learn which stories are better. You have a faith circuit in your brain, and you know it. You know when your beliefs are tested. I believe this versus somebody else believes that. You don't just jump without first analyzing and looking into your foundations. You examine yourself. You look into yourself for the truth, and you may project that out with your words. You may be argumentative because there is an existential crisis, because if you're wrong, you might have to knock over one of those pillars, and that's painful to have to do away with a circuit. But if you are truly wise, you're willing to do that because you know that baptism by fire, that pain, that existential crisis will lead you to be a stronger person and more powerful in the future. You don't want to knock it right out and shoot everything you believe. If you're an atheist, you don't want to just jump right into God necessarily, but you might want to start exploring the Bible. Maybe if you read the Origin of Species and then the Bible, looking for the evolutionary value. You should really look at your instincts when you go out, what you're doing. You'll notice that a lot of the strategies that you tend by instinct to do are more in line with biblical texts. So if you maximize your faith circuit, that just is by combining it with the Bible and biblical stories, you get more value out of that instinct, out of those, because you're less likely to take this decision you know is wrong, and you often make the wrong decision for some sort of short-sighted goal versus a long-sighted goal.